Hello, Pisces. This is your reading for February 2026. My name's Kathleen. I'm one of the spirit operators. If you're new here, I do things a little bit different. I get psychic impressions from the images on the cards, and I also interact with spirit. And if you're not new here, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us again. Okay, so I'm sticking with the card layout that I was giving during meditation. And so the top card represents you for the month of February, and it's from the Rider-Waite tarot deck. And the other four cards are just the normal reading for the month, and we're using the Mystical Journey Oracle deck. And I say we because it's me and spirit. Okay, so let's get into your reading. So we have the Five of Pentacles. So a feeling here of you've been going through some hardship, some difficult times. Now, pentacles usually represent finances, money, but my readings are different. This could be anything. This could be emotional hardship. It could be financial. It could be, a number of things, relationships. But there's some underlying thing that's kind of affecting your whole life. And it's been difficult going through this. Okay, Spirit said that's it for that card. So let's move on. And we have the Path. Okay, so there's lots of different paths showing up on this card that you could take. This came up for Capricorn in the exact same position, and it feels like it's sort of the exact same information. So, if you've got Capricorn in your chart, strongly in your chart, or maybe your partner's Capricorn or something, you might want to check that reading out. So there's lots of paths. You need to be prepared for any number of things to happen in the future. If you've been focused on one direction and thinking that this is where you're heading, you might get jolted, okay? Something could happen that just sort of rips your world apart or brings in drastic change. So you need to be prepared for sort of any option that may arise in the future. So if you're thinking, I'm going to hop on my Harley motorcycle and I'm going to drive across the country, that's my big plan for this year. That may not happen, okay? Like the bike might break down, or the roads you plan to take might get closed, or, there might be a really bad storm or natural disaster or something. So I'm just using a silly example, but just to show that just because your heart is set or your mind is set on something, going to happen, this is the plan, this is what I want, be prepared that is, okay, Spirit's saying most likely not going to happen. All right. Be prepared for other options that may came up. Like maybe instead of riding your Harley across country, maybe you're going to have to fly halfway across or something, or take an RV or something instead, or maybe you're gonna have to go the other direction, like who knows, right? So just try to be prepared that things could change in the future, and so that you're not taken by surprise, that you're not jolted. I keep hearing jolted for you. So it won't have such a negative impact. Not that it's necessarily going to be a negative thing, but if we hold on, if we get attached to certain things, and we get attached to, this is the plan, this is what I'm going to do, but that's not what's happening, it can be very unsettling and unnerving, right? So it's not necessarily negative. It might be very positive things that happen, but it can, sort of take you out of your comfort zone, like they like to say, okay? Okay, so the next card we have here is Eternal Self. So this feels like your energy. This feels like you're not trusting something or someone. You are guarded. You are hesitant. You're not completely happy with a situation or a person. So Spirit's saying it's a good thing. Like, remain guarded. Yeah, keep your back up. Keep your senses alert. Pay attention to what's going on around you. Because if there's someone around you or that you don't quite trust, or the circumstances you're in you don't quite trust, you're thinking there's been some underhanded things going on, keep your guard up. Pay attention. Try not to lose focus. Try not to get manipulated. Okay. You're kind of, it feels like you're already aware of this, and so your instincts are right. So trust yourself. Okay. Okay, the next card we have here is Rising Up. Yeah, so whatever this is for you, and it could play out different for, all the different Pisces. I was saying before, be on guard. Yes, stay on guard. Be ready to defend yourself, okay? So if you need to shield yourself, protect yourself somehow, be ready for that. If this is something that you might have to assert yourself, like as an example, though this may not be the case for you, if there's someone at work who's trying to steal your job or something, that be prepared to fight and say, yeah, no, that's not happening. And if someone's been saying negative or dirty things about you behind your back, straighten that up and be forward and assertive, that you're not going to allow this underhandedness to happen to you. Okay, I hope that was clear. Okay, so the next card we have is Rites of Passage. So this figure here feels like your energy, and that if you can trust yourself, trust your instincts, trust your gut, believe in yourself, trust your intuition, you're gonna come out on top. Like this roaring leopard. I think it's a leopard up on top here. It's roaring in triumph in this card, in this reading. Okay, so by you being more self-aware and okay, sorry, spirits. Okay, so Spirit says not being self-evasive, if that makes sense. So you stand up for yourself. You know you're right. So let everybody else know that you know you're right, and let them know where you stand. Okay? Because you'll triumph. You'll come out the winner if you stand up for yourself. Okay, so Spirit said that's it for your reading. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you so very much for watching.